All right, hopefully the final cut. All right, let's get on to it. Into it. These are two I didn't get. The Thing number one, which is obviously Comic Hall. Thing number one by Walter Mosley. Again, the reason why I didn't want to get this one was because I feel like it's going to be tied into Fantastic Four, which I'm not currently reading. The Dan Slott run. I wish they would just tell you, right at the bat. So they tell you here. You're not. And it could be just a mini series, like the Invisible Woman had one. It was written by Mark Waid, actually. You didn't have to read Fantastic Four to understand what was going on, which was nice. And Catwoman, Lonely City. This one I had to. There's just two books I didn't get last time. Last month, like the 17th. No, it was before then. It was like one of the first weeks of November. Maybe the first weekend, I don't know. But this one I didn't get just because last time I don't have a whole lot of Catwoman books, but that wasn't a really good excuse. So it's like, I'll just get it next time. Now these are the ones that I just got. It was 3 weeks of catching up, so a lot of floppies. Wonder Woman Historia, the Amazons, Book 1. It's written by Kelly Sue DeConnick, but it got really rave reviews. And Catwoman got rave reviews too. I think I forgot to mention. Sorry, I'm just a little bit distracted. This one's written by Kelly Sue DeConnick. I'm not a huge fan of her writing, but it got good reviews. Maybe it's one of the ones. Maybe it's like with Tom Taylor. And speaking of Tom Taylor, Batman the Detective 6 of 6 finally came out. I feel like that was a long time ago that the first issue came out. I think it might have gotten delayed too. I like how they have an advertisement. Oh, it's a scale statue for Detective Comics 1000. They're just now getting to the to those statues. I find that funny. The one I was so Batman the Detective, and actually a lot of these were ones that, like, if I didn't find them, the whole trip would have been ruined. Like, damn, because Newberry is famous for not having the one book I'm looking for. But they had Once in Future issue 22. Pretty soon here, I'm gonna forget which issue I'm on. I already kind of did. I thought we were on issue 23, but no, we're on issue 22 as the most recent one. Aquaman, Green Arrow, Deep Target, 2 of 7. I haven't read the first issue yet. I probably should. But there's a whole entire trade of a book I haven't read volume 1 of, so I don't think that matters too much. DC versus Vampires, issue 2. Why did I think it wasn't called DC vs. Vampires? For a second, there's two books that are kind of came out the same day that were like big 12-issue miniseries kinds of books. I got confused there for a sec. House of Slaughter, issue 2. One I was so happy to find. I didn't think they have it. It was a week late. That was the only reason I was going to go last week, was to get this book. It was the only reason I was going. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to wait till next week when Once in Future and Batman Detective come out. Last issue of Batman Detective. That way I don't have to wait an extra week. Oh, and by the way, this is going to be the last comic haul for a little bit. I'm doing Christmas shopping after that. So all my money is going to be going towards Christmas shopping. I hope I can do it all in 1 week, but it's a lot of people I'm shopping for, so I doubt it. Unless I win the lottery, which... I have plenty of money I get them huge gifts and still have enough money left over for myself. This one I was so happy to find. And I'm pretty sure that I got issue 8. But issue 9 and issue 10 of Radiant Black. The reason why I'm like, I'm pretty sure I got it is because of the fact that, yes, I did. Because I got 2 of them. It was 1 through 6 on a trade. And then it was 8, 9, 10 that I had to get. Well, actually, no. I had to get 7 and 8. I got 7 and 8. And 9 and 10 I had to get caught up on with. It's kind of funny that last time I got 2 issues of Radiant Black to play catch up, and this time I did the same thing. Yeah, I finally had it. See, like how I said about Newberry being good about having the books after a while? That was actually a long time. Task Force Z, issue 2. This is why I was confused with the Batman one, the DC versus Vampires one. I mean, technically it's Batman. Batman's in it. But yeah, DC vs. Vampires is written by James Tynion too, which is awesome. That's definitely gets your hopes up. So if it's only adequate, it's gonna be like a really bad review. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like if I I don't know how you would, kind of like if Quentin Tarantino made a movie that was just okay. People would hate it because it's Quentin Tarantino. He's capable of doing a lot better. That kind of bias. This one I did not think they'd have, and it's another James Tynion book. Just because Newbury Comics is famous for not having this series, it must be popular in that Newbury, and that's Department of Truth, issue 14. And then this one, it was another one I just found out this week. Did I say that for this cut? I think I did. I just found out this week that they're coming out with, Wonder Woman. It was just this week that I found out they're coming out with Gotham City Villains Anniversary Giant, 100-page Giant for $10. And I'm so glad I checked the price on the cardstock variant because it was $10.99. It's a whole dollar more. And it's already $9.99. That's like, you know what? I won't get the cardstock variant. And I'm glad I also did was I double checked to make sure I got everything that I was looking for. And I went to the comic list by Go Collect, and so I was like, oh yeah, I almost forgot to get at this point, Nice House in the Lake issue 6. Now that this might be the last one of the series. I'm not 100% sure. It's just because of James Tynion leaving for Substack. Although Department of Truth is gonna have at least 17 issues, judging by the trade coming out in March or May, whenever. Yeah, that's why I wanted to get Department of Truth issue 14 right away. That's why I went this week too, was the Department of Truth. Dark Ages issue 3, yet another one that I was like, I was glad I double checked to make sure I had everything. I grabbed everything. One that I took forever to get because I kept forgetting about it, and that is Dark Knights of Steel issue 1. It's a Tom Taylor book that everyone seems to like. That was a Tom Taylor book that everyone seems to like. And that's why I got that Wonder Woman one, because like with this one, it could be a Kelly Sue DeConnick book that she puts her all into, and it turns a profit, I guess you would say. It turns out being good. And the last 3 are all the same series. And that is Eternals by Kieran Gillan. Now, you need to make sure it's issues 1 through 6. I'm pretty sure it is. It was $17.99 for the trade. But I got in volume 1 for free on Prime Reading, which was really nice. And I was kind of skeptical to start reading it because it's Kieran Gillan, number 1, and secondly, I'll have 22 issues of Once and Future, prematurely bought before I even read any of it. So I was like, you know what, I'll do the same for Eternals. And that's why I decided to get this, and they finally had it. They had Eternals 7. They didn't have there's the Eternals Celestia, and the one they didn't have was Thanos Rising. They had 2 one-shots. I only had one of them. And that's why I didn't get it way back when. I gotta put that there. I'm gonna keep all the Marvel books stacked together. So Marvel books are the only publisher that gives you a free digital copy of the book you just bought. Very nice of them. They don't do it for the trades though, which is fine. But and then last, but certainly not the least, the book I was dying to get. Literally, if they didn't. And yesterday, so the whole story behind it is yesterday I called in and I wanted to get put on hold, and the guy was like, nope, can't do that for a book that just came out, which is really weird. And I was like, alright, fine, I'll wait until tomorrow. It was yesterday I did that, because they can do it for 24 hours for most books. And I was like, they're probably not going to have it. I'm going to go tomorrow, and it's only 2 copies are going to be bought out, and I'm going to be very upset, and it's going to be a whole day ruined, and whatever. But they had it. And it is. And it's also ironic, because it's a volume 2. I haven't even read volume 1 yet. And that is The Complete Darkness, Volume 2. Now, I would have gotten this for a Thanksmas present from my grandmother. I'm glad I didn't, because Amazon is a week late than comic shops are. So I'd have to wait till December 7th to get it, or even longer, because when I have seen her again, maybe even Christmas, or the next time I went shopping with her. But I didn't want to wait that long. I'm glad I didn't. The whole story behind the delay and why it was originally supposed to come out November 23rd. But it got delayed 1 week because of all the delays just in general. Maybe it's paper, stock, or whatever, what have you. And it was right. And what was so funny about it was that okay, I gotta put my thoughts together. What was so funny about it was Oh, for the longest time they were saying temporarily out of stock, and I'm like, no, it's delayed. I know it is. There's no way you're running out of stock that quickly. And the other tip off was that the digital edition wasn't coming out until this week, and the digital editions always come out when it comes out in comic shops. Always a week that week early timestamp because it's digital. It's obviously going to have a PDF by then. So that's how I know when the books are out in comic shops. So this one collects Darkness 19 to 40. That's just, and there's more. They already give you over 20 issues in one $30 trade. That's thick, thick, thick. Darkness, the half story, issue 2. Witchblade 36. That's why I have to get Witchblade along with this book. Witchblade and Darkness half issue. Witchblade Darkness issue 1, which I swear to God they had before. And Darkness Witchblade issue 1. No, the Witchblade Darkness is in book 2. I thought they had in book 1 too. I don't know. But I had to get Witchblade along with this series. And I didn't start on Witchblade just because Witchblade book 2 came out really early. It was like March, I want to say. And this was coming out in November. So I wanted to wait till at least then to start on this series. And this is not written by Garth Ennis anymore, but it's still drawn by Mark Silvestri. So you still get the amazing artwork that you always got. But that is it. Pretty big haul today. Especially books I wanted to get like really, really bad. But that's it. Next time it'll probably be... So I want to say you're not going to get a comic haul until... Let's say go next week for Christmas shopping. So maybe the following week or the third week or 2 weeks from now. I don't know. I don't like care. I would rather get Christmas shopping done than do 1 week off and 1 week on for comic calls. You know, oh, I gotta go next week with more books coming the following week, you know? The only exception is that Amazing Fantasy number 5 is coming out next week. But I think what I'm gonna do for this month is not get as many trades. The Complete Darkness I had to get. I wasn't gonna pass that up for anything. But yeah, it'll probably just be, except for the Christmas haul, it'll probably be mostly floppies. Just, you know, catching up on those series. And I know, I find that so ironic how I've always said, oh, I hate getting floppies instead of trades because the floppies are so expensive. And they are. I still feel I still feel the same way. But it won't matter this month. Yeah, so some of the floppies, like floppies and trades too, and the next volumes and everything, I want to get right away. If I like a series, that is. But that is it.